What's up? What's up? You got the original Lone Wolf coming at you. I want to get into a couple of things tonight. Uh, this is going to be a video. You might not be able to watch all at one time or whatever. Or if you're driving or whatever the case may be, you may not be able to, watch this video at this moment. There's going to be a screen share. I want to talk about the Social Security number, right? And I want to try to make some sort of connection between that and, the Sestakay Trust and the things that they talk about with the birth certificate, and particularly the certificate of live birth. All right. Now, for all of you all that's been down with my original channel, well, first off, shout out to all my new subscribers. Shout out to the brothers and sisters that may have came and watched the video or whatever. And, hopefully you all subscribe, hit the like button, share the videos. But for all of my older subscribers, you already know that I showed y'all how to authenticate your certificate of live birth on the state and federal level. I've had mine authenticated for years now. I also did my mom's. Okay, so I want to try to make some connections here to help you guys see things a little bit more clearer and to help you be able to understand how you're able to do certain things. Now, if you ask me, the stuff that I'm finna show you, how can I say it? I'm not gonna say it's irrelevant. It's relevant, but it's not relevant. One of the reasons for why I think this kind of information will help us is because there's not enough of us together who know that we are the indigenous people of this land, and we actually didn't come here from Africa, and we actually what they would consider to be American Indians. Okay, because that when you say that American Indian thing, it automatically gets crossed up with Native. That face that they get or that image, it don't look like us, right? So this is where this is relevant. It wouldn't be relevant if we all came together, because this shit is all foreign. This is all some shit that came out of England and the UK and all that shit, like Sestakay. You know what I'm saying? The Sestakay Trust. That's some British shit, man. That's some UK, like England type, fucking Prince Charles, who is now King Charles type fucking bullshit. That's really what this is, right? So that's the reason for why if we all came together as one, it would be completely irrelevant because it's foreign, right? But also, too, because you know that you are an Aborigine and you also know that this type of stuff exists, to me, it makes it a little bit more powerful. So let me go into what I wanted to get into really quick. So, where am I at? Okay. So let's do this. Let's go back to the I-9 form, right? Now, everybody know the I-9 form is a form that you got to fill out to verify that you're not somebody in this country illegally and trying to take all the jobs from the people that were born here, and AKA what you would consider to say United States citizens, right? So we're going to pull up the actual form, and most of y'all have already seen this. Y'all know what it looks like and what have you, right? So what I want you guys to concentrate on is in the direction part, like this part here, where they give you the list of the stuff that you could use to prove who you are. See it down here, say list A, B, and C. Now I want you guys to go to column C, where it say list C. You see it say number 1. What does that say? It says Social Security account number card. They tell you right off the rip what the Social Security number is. They tell you that. It's not a fucking okay. You know what? I'm gonna try to not use no profanity, but y'all know I get irritated, man. Like, because my thing is this: I'm not afraid. I don't suffer from depression and all that stuff like that. It's just that I'm sick and tired of the scams and how they keep working, and people are not catching on, or how people are lazy and trifling and they don't want to get off they what and put some work in and blah blah blah, or how I'll make these kind of videos, but people won't do nothing with this information. You know what I'm saying? Instead of applying the information, instead of taking the information and looking to it for themselves and trying to make it fit in shape and form to work for them, they won't do that. You know, it's kind of like that. It says this is a Social Security account number card. Okay? Now, there's many questions that can be raised from that, right? And I get that. But the one most important question we want to stick to, account number for where? From whom? Where's the bank at? What bank is this account in? Right? Now, for any of you all, again, that was down with me from my first channel, you know, I touched on the whole thing about the birth certificate and how it's an actual bond. And yes, birth certificate of live births and shit are actually printed on bond paper. Bond paper is the same, you know, bond paper is like when, you know, you got bonds, right? But also too, checks. When you get checks, okay, checks are also printed on bond paper. Whether if you get like a Social Security check, or like if the Treasury Department cuts you a check for your income taxes or, you know, refund or whatever. If it's a check, if it's an actual check that you can cash, whether if it's at a check cashing place or whether or not if you can take that same actual piece of paper called the check and deposit into your bank account, it doesn't matter. It's printed on bond paper. So yes, your certificate of live birth is being traded on the stock market. And yeah, it is worth a lot of money. It's true. Now, when you get to the Social Security number, that's the account number for the actual your dig itself, for all of the money that's in there. That's what that is. Right now, I'm gonna have to do another video because I'm not going to cover all that tonight. It's going to be too much information. But according to the letter that's on the back of the Social Security card, right? Because, you know, on the front of the Social Security card, you got the account number, right? Now, on the back of the card, there's a letter, and it's like 6 numbers after that letter. And that letter is 12 Federal Reserve banks. So you got A through whatever. Let's see, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L. So A through L makes up 12, right? And so whatever that letter is, your shit ain't gonna go past L, because it's only 12 Federal Reserve banks. So it's not gonna go past letter L. But whatever that letter is, you got to figure out what bank, what Federal Reserve bank that your account number is being held at, right? Now I can do another screen share on that and show y'all. I have a list because mine's is off the top of my head, I don't remember the letter, but what I can tell you is that letter is associated with the Federal Reserve Bank in St. Louis. Okay, so according to that, with the account number that's on the front of the Social Security card, which we know of it as the Social Security number, but it's not just a number, it's an actual account number. And as you can see on the I-9 form here, it tell you that. They telling you that it's an account number. Don't get mad at me, man. Y'all know how I am with that. Don't trip on me. You can't get mad at me. I didn't write the damn form. This ain't my form. I didn't make it. I didn't create it. Okay? But they're telling you that it's an account number. Right? And like I said, I forgot what my letter is, because you got the letters, you got the numbers on the front of the card, which we know of as a Social Security number, but it's actually the account number. If you flip your card over on the back, it's going to have a letter, and it's going to range from either A through L. And then after that, it's going to be like either 6 numbers or 7 numbers, something like that. I don't feel like pulling out my Social Security card. But that letter represents one of the 12 Federal Reserve Bank. I cannot remember what letter mine is. I forgot. But it's St. Louis is the bank. I remember that part. Okay? Okay, so now that we've covered the part and we realize now that the Social Security card is, that number on the front is an account number. It is. Because the routing number is to the actual bank, which is like I expressed to you guys that it's in my particular one is in St. Louis. All right, so let's come out of here. Where else do I want to go? So now, just real quick, just a simple Google search, right? I say, well, okay, what is the Sesame Trust, right? Because this is what everybody want to fight about and argue about, and don't nobody want to come to a clear, specific way as to how this stuff works and how to access it and this, that, and the other. And neither do I. You know what I'm saying? It's just that I could be upfront about me not knowing exactly how this work and, step 5, 10, 20, and 30th step or whatever. I can be honest about that instead of, making YouTube videos and having PayPal set up and I'm charging people all this money to do this, that, and the other and woo woo. But yet I'm not able to produce anything concrete to let people know that it actually worked. You know what I'm saying? And this is one of the reasons for why I did the Zoom call, because we got another Zoom meeting that I'm gonna set up for Wednesday. I should have a invite link sent out to everybody by tomorrow. The people who was in the Zoom link the last time that I did it, I'm gonna get them first dibs this time to be, able to get in. I'm still not exactly sure how many people how many people they'll let me in on the Zoom. But I know, like I said, the one we did the week before last, it was like 7 of us in there. You know what I'm saying? And we was chopping it up, and I showed my screen. I was showing them some stuff. And this coming Wednesday, I'm gonna do another one because we got to go back over some of the stuff that I was talking about. Like for y'all that did the Zoom call with me, this shit finna blow y'all mind, man. Like these they playing out here. But anyway, I don't want to get too off topic. So it's a Sesta K Trust is a personal entitled to an equitable rather than legal trust in the estate assets. The concept is also known in modern life and health insurance policies, where Sesta KV, which we're going to get to that in a minute, Sesta KV or Sesta KVI, or however they pronounce it, is an individual whose life measures the duration of an insurance contract, right? And it's crazy because the way that bond is set up, that when they take your birth certificate and they turn it into a bond, that's kind of similar to how it works. You know what I'm saying? Because some people got hundreds of millions, and there are a few people out here who got billions of dollars in that shit. And it's all based off the measure of your duration of your life. Like, it's crazy. And on top of that, when your ass die, they create 2, 3, 4 more death bonds. You know how they do death certificates and shit? Death certificates are bonds, just like a birth certificate. So they make money, they catch you coming and going. That's like the best way I could express that. They get you coming and going, man. When your mama give birth to you, you know what I'm saying? Which ain't the birth you really think it is. It's actually the birth of a ship docking at a port. It's really the birth that they're talking about. It's BERTH instead of BIRTH, right? But they got your mama confused. She don't know what the hell going on. They want her to sign these documents no sooner than she done gave birth to, her child. So she not thinking about all of this. Plus she don't know. Ain't nobody ever taught her nothing. You know what I'm saying? So this is how they get everybody coming in through the door, right? And in this case, coming through the door would be, you coming through the womb of your mom. And then, like I said, when you die, you know what I'm saying? That damn death certificate, that's a bond. The motherfuckers turn around and cash you out, Jack, and keep that shit. This is how they're able to send all this money to the Ukraine and all, they're sending out $200 billion trillion to Israel and they're taking out, because they bleeding us dry. They bleeding us dry. They're taking our blood, sweat, and equity. This say the person is titled to equitable, right? In order to get equitable, you have to have equity. You understand? So they bleeding us dry. They vampires. They blood sucking ticks, man. Is what the hell they are. Okay, so now I want to cover a couple of things. Like where they talk about this Sesta K VI down here. It says, a Sesta K Trust is the person entitled to an equitable rather than legal trust in estate assets. The concept is also used in modern life and health insurance policies, with Sesta K VI is an individual whose life measures the duration of the insurance contract. Now, you have to understand something, guys. Because a person doesn't necessarily have to be the living, breathing man and woman, that's how you get to the all capital letter name. Okay? You have to keep that in mind. Now, because the all capital letter name signifies a business or a dead person, that can be considered an estate. Okay, you guys have to understand that, because I am going to cover all this stuff tonight, but I do want to get into a few things to kind of help get you guys going in terms of saying, well, hey man, maybe I need to look into this. Maybe this is something I can, do this. And now maybe this helps me understand this over there and this, that, and the other, because I want to get into a repossession too that was on my credit. I want to get into that too before I end this. But, so let's go back to, I want to kind of go in order. I don't want to kind of get out of, you know what I'm saying, how I wanted to present this. So we're going to go back to the I-9 form, and we're going to go back down to where it says under list C number 1, Social Security account number card, right? So what I did was I said, okay, well, let me be a jerk, right? So this is Black Laws. Don't quote me. I think this is the 6th edition. Let me see. Yeah, it is. This is 6th edition. So it's an account is a detailed statement of a mutual demand and the nature of debit and credit between parties. Because keep in mind, you the creditor. That's another thing. See, for any of you all who've already kind of got into this and, read up on it a little bit, some of this stuff should already, you should be able to understand this. It's a detailed statement of a mutual demands and the nature of debit and credit between parties arising out of contract or some fiduciary relationship. Notice that, fiduciary relationship, right? How many times have I told y'all, man, like when they pulled me over in Chicago and be giving me all kind of crazy tickets, like I told y'all, first off, man, I'd had Chicago cops throw their whole ticket book in my car. That's how many tickets they wrote me at one time, man. I'd had cops write me 4, 5, 6 tickets. How many times have I told y'all, man, you can send a Form 56, right, which is a fiduciary form. That's what it is. A fiduciary is a trustee. Keep in mind, the judges ain't judges. They magistrates. They administrators. That means they assume a fiduciary / trustee position. We ain't already got into the whole thing about who the beneficiary is. The beneficiary is you. The reason for why you benefit from all of this is because they set this up without your knowledge, without your permission, without your authority. And with you being the creditor, everything is pledged off the back of you. Now, we can also get into this is the reason for why they want everybody to get shot up and take all these procedures and all this other stuff, because it's time to cash you out. Everybody that done passed away in the last close to 3 years now, they done cashed all these people out. And we talking billions, man. Billions. Now, you keep in mind, now add to the fact that the Pope want all of the Catholic entities around the world to take all of their money out of their banks or wherever they are in the world and place it in one sole location in the Vatican. Think about that, man. Oh, man, this is crazy. So it says a statement in writing of debts and credits, debits and credits, or receipts and payments, a list of items of debits and credits with their respective dates, a statement of precautionary transaction. Basically, it's a statement. Basically, it's a detailed and itemized statement according to what we're looking at. It says statement of precautionary transaction, a record or course of business dealings between parties, a list of statement of monetary transactions such as payments, losses, sales, debits, credits, accounts of payables, account receivables. So basically, it's a detailed ledger, right? And if you ever worked in the warehouse, you should know about account receivables and bill of ladings. You feel me? If you ever worked in like a warehouse setting or some sort of like logistical setting, you dig? You should already know about that kind of stuff. Okay. So now we covered account. So I want to how I want to move forward with this. Let's go down to page 242. My bad, y'all. I'm doing this on my cell phone. I'm trying to do this the best way I can. Let's go down to page 242. Okay, so on page 242, the definition of a sesticate trust is he who has the right to a beneficiary interest in and out of an estate and legal title of which is vested in another. Again, this is how I am able to get out of moving violations. The only moving violations that I've never got like hooked for a DUI, and I never got hooked for like reckless driving or something like that. But anything outside of that, including and up to driving with no insurance. I'm talking about no license, expired tags, no insurance. I'm talking about they done wrote me tickets for all of that at the same time. Like, here you go, straight up, and get back in the car and pull off on my ass, for real. And how I'm able to get out of not paying these tickets. And now keep in mind also, my birthday was June the 22nd, right? I was supposed to renew my license. I didn't, right? Now I haven't had the card, the actual license, for years. Cops took it some years back after they threw the tickets out. You know what I'm saying? I guess the judge got pissed off, you know what I'm saying? They didn't give me my license back. In Illinois, they could take your license if you don't have no insurance, right? So that's how they ended up confiscating the license to begin with. Well, I had the judge throw the tickets out. That included the driving with no insurance ticket. So I guess they were salty or whatever the case may be. I don't know. But they didn't give me my license back. They didn't give it back to me the day of court when they threw it out, and they didn't mail it back to me either. You know what I'm saying? So I never went to go get another one. It was like, F y'all. You know what I'm saying? So when my birthday just passed, this June that just passed, it expired. I was supposed to renew it. It's a Class C license too. It ain't even just a regular license that everybody mostly got. It's a Class C license. The next will be a B, then the next will be a full-blown CDL. So I didn't go back to renew it. I sent Jesse White, who's the Illinois Secretary of State. I sent Buddy a letter like, bro, I peeped the scam now. I see what y'all on. I'm revoking my signature for anything that got something to do with a driver's license or any of my vehicle, my automobiles that I've had registered with this state. I'm done with that shit. Y'all got a Dunn's number, bro. I done pulled y'all up on Dunn and Bradstreet. Y'all a corporation. You can't force me to contract with y'all, right? So I've gotten pulled over since that time. And the same thing, they with that last one, matter of fact, I made a video about that and put it up on YouTube. It's got something about traffic tickets in the title. If you go back through my videos and you scrolling through them, yeah, I just made a video about that not too long ago. I sent Iris Martinez, who replaced Dorothy Brown as the circuit court clerk of the county of Cook County Court. I sent her a Form 56, getting back to this Sesta K Trust thing and the beneficial interest and the whole thing about the fiduciary relationship, because everything we covering is going to have something to do with fiduciary. And fiduciary basically is a trustee. That's in a nutshell, without us going into a long thing about that. A fiduciary responsibility is a person who has a trustee responsibility. The role of a trustee is to handle the shit in the best interest of the beneficiary. Well, in these situations, the beneficiary is always you. Is always I. Always. And I'm talking about the living, breathing you and I. It's always us as the beneficiary. Always. Okay? But the reason for why I'm able to get out of not paying those traffic tickets is because I put them in a fiduciary position by sending them a Form 56. And then on top of that, I tell them, if you don't comply with that and you still try to hook me and book me, you know, like in a situation with traffic tickets, you know, they still want to fine me and penalize me and say, oh, you ain't got no insurance. We're going to fine you $1,000 and all this other stuff for not having no insurance. I tell them, I say, look, if you going to ignore this and not fill out this Form 56 and send it in on my behalf, if you refuse to do that, then I'm going to go and I'm going to fill out a Form 3949A. And I'm going to send that to the IRS on my own, and I'm going to report you. That's getting back to the fact that they're a corporation, they got EIN numbers, and they registered on Dun and Bradstreet. That means they supposed to pay taxes. Not only that, they are a subsidiary to the United States Corporation under 28 U.S.C. 3002 subsection 15A. They are subsection 15B. Because 15A tells you the United States is a corporation. 15B tells you that any of their subsidiaries, the department of this, the department of that, there's their subsidiaries to the corporation. So when you look up Title 26 of the IRC, they tell you anybody that get any money that is derived from the United States, your ass is liable for taxes. So that means those municipalities and all of them people that pull you over and give you moving violations, or like if you go through a red light and they snap your license plate and they send you something in the mail talking about you owe this, that, and the other, and this, that, and the other, they supposed to pay taxes on that, man. Now, with the fiduciary responsibility, everybody's shit is in a trust. Everybody's shit. So that means you're not even supposed to be coming after me. If there's some sort of fee or fine or something that's supposed to be paid because I am the beneficiary, I'm not even supposed to know about it. You're supposed to just take care of it. And that's where the Form 56 come in at. That's what you, under the Power of Appointment Act of 1951, that's what gives you the right to force them to be, if they want to move forward with their traffic tickets or any other type of fines or whatever, if they want to move forward, that's what gives you the right to force them into a trustee responsibility. It's that all capital letter name. It's that social security number. The fact that they create penal bonds off of traffic tickets, off of criminal cases. They create, man, they get money hand over fist, man. Like they just... They trade these bonds and shit around the world, man. So y'all got to understand that. So now again, Sesta K Trust. He who has the right to a beneficial interest in and out of an estate. Keep in mind, an estate is the all capital letter name. It's a business entity. It's a fictitious entity, which is a business. Okay? In order for you to have an all capital letter name, you either dead or you a corporation. It say the legal title to which is vested in another. The person who possesses the equitable rights, we back to that again, to property and receives the rents issued and profits thereof. The legal estate of which is vested in a trustee, the beneficiary of a trust. So they telling you in a Sesta K Trust, you have to have a trustee. And there's also a beneficiary. Well, benefit is inside a beneficiary. That means if you are the beneficiary, you're supposed to reap all of the benefits. So in a traffic case, if you get a traffic ticket, they're supposed to who? The judge, or excuse me, the magistrate, the administrator, the trustee. He's supposed to make the ticket disappear. And this is exactly what they did when the University of Illinois at Chicago campus police. If I didn't know the things that I know today, they would be pissing me off with those type of stops. They really would. But I'm in the process of doing some other stuff now. So pretty soon I'm not going to have to deal with them at all. So now, remember when we was looking on Google and they was talking about the Sesta K Trust and they brought up Sesta K Vi or Sesta K V or whatever? That's what this is right here. Now listen to this. It's the persons whose life measures the duration of a trust, gift, estate, or insurance contract. Person on whose life insurance is written, the person whose life and land tenements or hereditaments are held. Now keep in mind, they have us as American Indians, as the Aboriginal people of this land. Our land is in the trust. We just don't know it. Now it's fake, it's phony, it's all under fraud. Don't misunderstand me, but still, these are the facts. This is the reason for why y'all will hear me say that all of this shit is ours. Because it was done under fraud. It was either done under fraud or how Big Red always talk about how a lot of our people betrayed us, which still is fraud. You feel me? No matter how you look at it. The person whose life measures the duration of a trust, they start trading your bonds and they set your birth certificate. They set a value on your birth certificate based off how long you're going to live, how long you're going to work, and how much taxes and shit you're going to pay into the system. How much of your equity are you going to put into their system? Well, to me, that sounds like the person whose life measures the duration of a trust. Gift, estate, okay? And notice it say gift and estates, comma, duration of a trust, comma, gift, comma, estate, comma, or insurance contract. These are all different things. Now, real quick, let's seeing that I'm hearing them say that. Let's do this real quick. 31 USC 321. Let's go here real quick. I promise I'm gonna try not to get off to I don't want to get too sidetracked. D1 and D2. Where are you? Okay. So it's a The Secretary of the Treasury may accept, hold, administer, and use gifts and bequests of property, both real and personal, for the purpose of aiding or facilitating in the work of the Department of Treasury. Gifts and bequests of the money and proceeds from sales and other property received as gifts or bequests shall be deposited in the Treasury in a separate fund and shall be dispersed in order of the Secretary of Treasury. Property accepted under this paragraph and the proceeds thereof shall be used as nearly as possible in accordance with the terms of the gift or bequest. Number 2, for purposes of federal income, estate, and gift taxes, property accepted under paragraph 1 shall be considered a gift or bequest to the United States. Notice it say federal income. All of these are taxes. Federal income is a tax. Estate is a tax. And gift taxes, like you win the lottery and shit. When you do them scratch offs, so if you win like the Powerball or something, it's a gift tax. Or you go and you hit it big on the slot machines or something on the boat or at a casino. Those are gift taxes. They say your shit should be considered a gift or bequest. Now, let's go back to where we just was. So, Sesta K. Vi, the person whose life measures the duration of a trust, gift, estate, or insurance contract. I mean, it don't get no more simpler than this, man. Now, let's move on to equitable estate, which is going to be down on page 561. Because we've been hearing about equity and estates and this, that, and the other. So now let's go to 561 really quick. Okay, so it says equitable estate. It says an interest recognized only in equity, such as the beneficial interest of a beneficiary of a trust. This is going back to what we was just talking about the I-9 form. Under list C, number 1, it says the Social Security account number card. It's an account number. That number that's on the front, the number they tell you don't give to nobody, the number that's on the front, the one you're supposed to keep secret, that is an account number. It's just not just some random number that they put together and gave you and said, hello. No, that is an actual account number. When you flip your Social Security card over on the back, there's going to be a letter on the back. And with everybody's Social Security number, it can range between letter A through L. And those 12 letters represent the 12 Federal Reserve banks. It's an account. Now, how you get to that point, it goes back to your mother. When your mother first gave birth to you, she thought she was giving birth in the terms of, it's just like when they talk about how a woman water break and all of that. All of that shit got something to do with maritime and admiralty law. What we call birth, birth, meaning a baby that comes through the womb of a woman, they don't call it birth. They it's not the same birth for them. It's birth for the United States. And that symbolizes admiralty and maritime law, the law of the sea. Birth, birth means a ship or something that pulled into port or docked. So when your mother created the registry for you, which we know of as the birth certificate, basically what she was doing was giving them a bill of lading, outlining the content and how much it was, how much it weighed, and this, that, and the other, as you would do with contents that's being brought on tanker ships across, the ocean that dock like at the ports in Long Beach, California, etc. Okay, so now what they did was they turned around and they put a value on those bonds. They turned your damn birth certificate into a bond. That's how they created the all capital letter name. They put a value on it and they stuck it in a bank, and that shit gets interest. This is the reason for why a lot of our birth certificates are worth hundreds of millions of dollars, because it's not just the fact that they put the value on the bonds and they trade the bonds all across the world on the stock market. It also gains interest that you're not receiving as the beneficiary. See, the reason for why people get in trouble when it come down to them trying to cash out and get their birth certificate cashed out and all this other shit, they try to play the trustee role and the beneficial role at the same time. And you cannot do that. That's fraud. Then when you add to the fact that they don't want you to access it, so they do everything in their motherfucking power to keep you from being able to do anything with it, even though you are the beneficiary, and that too is fraud. Because they're the ones that's tapping in it. When they pull you over, when the IRS try to audit you, or when you go through a red light camera or something like that and they try to bullshit you and string you up for all of this money, or every time you go to get a mortgage, which is a death pledge, by the way. Mortgage means death pledge. The etymology of the word mortgage means death pledge. Look it up, right? Instead of that house being yours when you sign all them papers, they create bonds and shit off those papers that you sign, and receive the money that you know what I'm saying, of whatever the house is supposed to cost or whatever, or the condo or whatever. They actually get that money and then turn around and create bonds and get more money off the shit, and then turn around and make you pay a mortgage every month and get that money too. Like, it's fraud over fraud over fraud. Like, it's so fucked up what these people are doing. It really is. And I'm trying not to curse, but it's really messed up, man. Okay, so now the one last thing I want to point out to y'all, I want to show y'all. We're going to go down to straw man. Because a lot of people don't believe this shit is real. Like for example, right? The term straw man ain't in Bouvier dictionary. Bouvier is a constitutional dictionary. Black Law's dictionary is created off of contract law. 1434. Which is what we under now. We're looking at Black Laws. Black Laws is a dictionary created off of contract law and off of court cases. Case law. Okay, so now we're going to go to, what I say, 1434? Hold on. Oh, shit. Okay. So, it's a straw man or party, right? It tell you it's a front. It tell you it's a front right off the rip. Now, everybody know the straw man is the all capital letter name. It's a front, man. It's a front. This is the reason for why you can say it's not you. It's not you, the living sentient being, because it's not. If it's a front, how the fuck is it me? I'm not a front. What the hell are you talking about? It's a decoy. It's a deception for something else. It's a third party who is put up in name only. In name only. This is the reason for why you'll hear people say all of this shit that they doing, it only exists on paper. It only exists on paper. All of the shit that they saying they own, like the government saying they own this and they own that and this, that, and the other, you know, they own certain lands and blah, blah, blah. The only way they own it is on paper, which means it really don't mean shit. They don't own nothing. It's a third party who is put up in name only to take part in a transaction. Now you think about everything that's considered transactions, because a transaction can be you having sex with a woman. You know what I'm saying? Don't necessarily have to be you sticking your debit card with that little chip inside the machine at the cash register to pay for something, which we also know is a transaction too. But I'm just saying, those are not the only types of transactions. You know what I'm saying? When you contract with a cop and you take a ticket from him, that's a transaction. When you go to court and you let them fine you and penalize you and all that and you pay money, that's a transaction. It's a one who acts as an agent for another for the purpose of taking title to real property and executing whatever documents and instruments that the principal may direct respecting the property. Person who purchases property for another to conceal identity of real purchaser. Wow. And this is how it's hard for you to find out like what these people EIN numbers and stuff be, because they do stuff like that. Like when you try to find like I'll give you an example. Certain municipalities, I've found their EIN numbers, and then some of them I couldn't, right? But for like the ones that I couldn't, I always found a DUNS number, right? And like how I told y'all, if y'all understand what Dun and Bradstreet is, if y'all know what that's about, The first thing you understand is you can't register. You can't get the DUNS number without having an EIN number. You have to be a corporation in order to register on Dun & Bradstreet. And then the other thing, too, that you got to understand that's very significant about it is that they get a credit score. You guys have to understand that, man. Yeah, man. So these state municipalities, these county municipalities, anything that's saying incorporated, you know, because Doc Man talk about this shit a lot on his channel. You know what I'm saying? Anything that you see that it says been incorporated, or anything that you can find that has a DUNS number or has a EIN number, that mean they're a corporation, man. They got a credit score in the whole 9 yards. Just like how you have an individual credit score, the state of Illinois has a fucking credit score, man. The state of Utah, the state of Texas, the state of California, the state of Arizona, they incorporated, man. They got their own Dun & Bradstreet. I'm telling you. You could go to the Security Exchange Commission's website, man, and pull up a lot of this stuff. I made these videos already, man. Y'all can scroll back through, you know what I'm saying, some of the older ones I made, and you watch some of them, man. You know what I'm saying? I done put some of this out here already. So now it's up to you guys, man. Especially if I can keep my promise where I say, hey, I'm going to make this video before the end of the week is out. Before the next week, I'll have this video out. And here it is. I'm doing it. It's Sunday night. You know what I'm saying? It's what, 10-12 Central Time. You know what I mean? I'm here doing this video. So the least you all could do is make sure that y'all attempt to, you know what I'm saying, at least check into the information. The straw man is a real thing, man. Don't let them tell you otherwise. Straight up. The straw man is a front. It's a third party who is put up in name only to take part in a transaction, a nominal party to a transaction for one who acts as an agent for another, for the purpose of taking the title to real property and executing whatever documents and instruments the principal may direct respecting the property. Person who purchased property from another to conceal identity of real purchaser or to accomplish some purpose of otherwise not allowed. To accomplish some purpose otherwise not allowed. If you don't agree to be in the all capital letter name, they can't move forward. If you don't agree to nothing that they talk to you about in traffic court, they can't move forward. That's why they get mad at you. That's why they throw you out the court and shit. It's because of the straw man. If you do not comply with the straw man, if you say, nope, that's not me. Nope, I don't know what you're talking about. All I know is I'm just here to see if I harm somebody. I don't know nothing about no infractions. And, you know, and then the fact that you know that these people, cause see, like for myself, like if I get pulled over or something, chances are I done already pulled up they DUNS number, or I done already pulled up they EIN number or something. So when I start writing them letters directly, because I don't enter shit into cases, like, you know, I'm talking about specifically like traffic court. I don't enter nothing into no motherfucking case. I send shit to them personally. You know what I'm saying? So like for example, the last tickets that I got, I didn't enter no documents into that actual case. I sent documents to Iris Martinez personally. Granted, she's the clerk of the court. And I'm not talking about the clerk that sit in the courtroom. I'm talking about she is the damn clerk. Granted, she is the clerk. I did not send documents to have her file to the case. I say, no, this shit is for you. This is for you to read, lady. I'm addressing this shit to you. And I had a partially filled out Form 56. And I say, hey, man, you see the second page over here at the bottom? You need to sign that. And you need to send that shit to the IRS. And if you don't, and if you ignore me and y'all decide y'all still want to move forward and try to bamboozle me with all these fines and all this shit, well, then I'm going to take the Form 56, fill it out, send it, let the IRS know you refuse to sign it, you refuse to send it, and I'm going to have a Form 3949A attached to it, letting them know, hey, man, these motherfuckers over here getting money, and I don't think they paying y'all motherfucking taxes. That's exactly what it's for. Google the form. Matter of fact, you know what? Hell with all that. We'll do it. We'll do it while I'm on here. Uh-oh. Let me show y'all something, man. Then I'm going to get up out of here. Form 3949A, man. Let me show y'all how the IRS get down. It say information referral. It say use this form to report suspected tax law violations by person or business. Keep in mind, these municipalities are registered on Dun and Bradstreet. They have EIN numbers. That mean they are a business. And the way the law works in this country with a business, if you want to be considered a business, you need an EIN number, period. EIN numbers are given out by the Internal Revenue Service only. Only. No one else gives out EIN numbers but them. That's why this is their form. So, they got a lot of stuff that you want to fill out. And then it say, look down here, y'all, in section B. It say, describe the alleged violation of income tax law. It say false exemption, false deduction, multiple filings, organized crime, unsubstantiated income, earned income credit, public political corruption, false and altered documents, unreported income, narcotics income, kickback, wagering and gambling, fail to withhold taxes, failure to file return, failure to pay taxes, and other. Unreported income is one of the things that you will have to check off for a municipality when they giving you red light camera tickets, because they not reporting that money man, these municipalities get millions of dollars every year from the red light camera tickets and shit. And you supposed to do the same thing with the tolls. You supposed to do the same thing with tolls. You go through the toll and they see you some in the mail like, yeah, bro, you ain't pay us that $1.50, you dick. And if you don't pay us, we gonna quadruple that. It's gonna go up to $65. You know what I'm saying? Something like that, man. You supposed to hit them up, be like, look, man, let me tell y'all something. Woo, 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 woo. I don't get down with none of that. Right? Here go a Form 56. Why don't you just get rid of it? And if you don't get rid of it with the Form 56, I'm going to take this form right here, the 3949A, and I'm going to attach that to my own Form 56, and I'm going to send that shit to the goddamn IRS, and we're going to see what you got to say about that. And be like, oh, yeah, by the way, your DUNS number is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You a business. You can't force me to contract with you, chump. So understand that, man. That's the way that work in a nutshell. So I'm going to wrap it up so I can get out of here, man, and I can get this uploaded. Let's cover a couple of things before we go. We know right now, out of their own mouth, that the Social Security number is an account number. Okay? We know that because they tell you that off of the I-9 form. Okay? For the people who be on YouTube and that be looking into the 1099A, the 1099C, the 1096 OID, and several other ones. All of this stuff is real. Here's the problem. Number one, they don't want to let you access it, which is fraud. That's illegal. That's unlawful. They ain't supposed to do that. Then number two, if our people came together as the original people of this land like we're supposed to, and put this bullshit to the side and be able to focus on the main thing, and that is reclaiming our inheritance, none of this shit applies to us. We don't have to do 501c3s. We don't have to fill out any of their forms. We don't have to use any of that. Right? Now, before I let y'all go, I do want to touch on this really quick. I had a repo on my credit, right? So right now, what I can tell you is this. Number one, the credit agencies, Equifax, Experian, and what's the other, TransUnion, they're all in on the scam. And it's like, what scam you talking about, Lone Wolf? That scam of all debt is supposed to be discharged dollar for dollar upon the back of the United States. They all in on it, right? So to make a long story short, I went through some administrative processes with the finance company and this, that, and the other, and they ignored me, right? So I went to the credit agencies and I say, hey, man, you see this account on my credit? We got a discrepancy, man. I done did all of this, that, and the other with this company to try to settle this debt, and they've rejected and flat out just ignored me really with everything. So I sent the credit agencies documents that I sent the finance company. And one of the documents I sent the finance company was a conditional acceptance. So I put in for a dispute. Okay, I did I did 2 of the credit agencies disputes via online, but then I turned around and I sent all 3 of them something in writing. And this is going back to, like I was saying, me being able to send the mail prepaid and all that other stuff. Okay. So to make a long story short, Equifax took the repo off, and my credit score is 100 points higher on that one versus TransUnion and Experian. So what I want to let y'all know is that I'm going to be making a video talking about this as well. But I want you all to be aware of right now. I just put in for another dispute with the same account. I told him, hey, say, man, y'all reach out to Equifax and see what the hell's going on, because right now y'all got y'all wires crossed. This account that does not exist on Equifax, and my credit score is a whole lot higher. It's 100 points higher than it is on the other 2, the other 2 credit reports. You know what I'm saying? So y'all need to figure this shit out and take it off my credit. I'm almost positive they're going to take it off, because I told them, I say, please feel free to reach out to Equifax. You have my permission. Reach out to them and see what they got to say about this. So y'all can remove the shit off my credit. But this is under Title 15. This is going back to the discharging of debt, the Uniform Commercial Code, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. We need to get off our ass, man. We need to get in gear. And we really need to come together and put together some shit. All right. Now, for the brothers and sisters that was in the last Zoom meeting we did that last Wednesday, I'm going to be sending you guys links no later than Tuesday. Okay. Hopefully you guys can show up. And in the meantime, I'll be looking to see exactly what are my options and what it is that I can do with this Zoom meeting. And if I can find another platform that I could use to bring more people in at one time. Okay. But until then, I love y'all, man. Shout out to all of my new subscribers. Hopefully you all watch this video to the end. Like it, give it a thumbs up, man. Share it. That's all I ask. I don't have no PayPal account. I don't have no GoFundMe and all that. I'm not asking y'all to give me no money. I don't want none of that. I just want us to wake up and get out of this. Anything I could do to help us get out of this and transition over this hump faster, I'll do. And some people just don't have the fucking money. And I know it. Now, some people may have it or whatever, and that's fine. But I know a lot of it comes to where, yeah, you got to pick and choose what you spend your money on. But I'm sick of this currency, man. Despite the fact that we still need to use it, I'm sick of their shit. So if I can help people with us out having to use their shit, I will. And this is one of the reasons why I don't charge nobody nothing. So y'all do y'all part. Get off y'all goddamn ass. I love y'all. All right. Original Lone Wolf. Much love to y'all.